Black Ops 4 has introduced a brand new system of the black market and how it works with the Contraband Stream, where you can rank up via tiers to what is rank 200, and then after you complete that, you actually can go on further. But this is the first time that we've seen anything like this in Call of Duty. And as a result, we now get a brand new 2x weekend coming this weekend, starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, going until Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But with such an important double weekend, if you want to put it that way, what kind of things can you expect here? How's it going to change your earn rate and your progression through your tier system? How can you maximize your return out of this entire weekend by playing certain modes? What's the best things to do here so you can maximize that? And all things to consider we're going to be talking about here in this video. We'll be breaking it down, the actual earn rates now versus this weekend, and then also the best ways that you can end up ranking up, because the ways to air quote rank up faster may surprise you a little bit and might not be exactly what you anticipate, but that is something we'll be talking about all throughout this video. So that said, let's just jump into it. So with the black market and this tier system comes a brand new way to rank up. Not only can you rank up in multiplayer, but in tandem with your ranking up through multiplayer, you can end up ranking up through your automatic Contraband Stream, which you don't have to activate, it's just there. But the interesting part is this is based only on playtime. There's nothing you can do that really will increase this naturally. You can't end up going completely off and maxing out your score in a multiplayer game to do better versus if you were to just AFK the entire game. It really doesn't work like that. It is simply solely based off of playtime and in-game playtime at that. So therefore, surfing menus, being in pre-game lobbies, that doesn't count towards your progression in the tier system. So that's something we're gonna have to keep in mind as we move forward into the video a little further to tell you the best ways to maximize it. But as it stands right now, the base rank is right around 1 hour of in-game playtime will grant you 1 tier throughout your Contraband Stream. And this is really easy to test. The best way that I found to test this, obviously, is just to go into Blackout, and if you end up playing a full game, you end up winning. It's right around the 20-minute mark, to which you get a little over 1/3 of a tier, roughly about that per 20 minutes. So 60 minutes to rank up that tier, and considering that there are 200 tiers before you even reach the Black Operations, which is after tier 200, and it's the stuff you just get out of reserves to try and complete all things within the reserve collections, that's a lot of time to put into the in-game playtime. Not even again talking the pre-game lobbies, loading screens, and countdowns, just in-game while playing. And if you want to round it out to see exactly what that'll take, it's a quick mathematical equation. 200 hours divided by 24 hours in a day, assuming you play in-game playtime literally 24/7, it'll take you 8 1/3 days, or rather 8 days and 8 hours of in-game playtime. Now granted, this is better than it was beforehand, before we ended up seeing an adjustment made to the earn rate, probably about in that first week the black market was live, but that's still a ton of playtime. That's probably half the amount of time that I have logged for Call of Duty in a total year in some games, which is kind of crazy. That is a lot of playtime no matter how you spin it. So this is definitely gonna be something that will help out, and as it being the double earn rate, it is going to be something that cuts that completely in half. So as of this, it'll mean that you end up earning twice as fast, so only 30 minutes for 1 tier rather than a full 60 minutes. Still quite a bit of time, but I'll definitely take ranking up twice as fast over the base default of 60 minutes. So naturally, as the double tier progression suggests, it is gonna take twice as fast. There's not really much explanation that really needs to go there, but keep in mind that the magic number is 30 minutes of in-game playtime for ranking up this weekend. But that said, how can you maximize what you do here in-game to end up making sure you get as many ranks as possible? Well, this comes down to simply the game mode that you play, or rather the core component of the game mode. Unfortunately, Zombies is not a part of the black market tier progression, which honestly would be the best bet by far, but it's not tethered, it doesn't contribute at all, and that's something that I'm really hoping does change in the near future. But as for this weekend, at least there is no indication that it will contribute. So with that in mind, you have 2 main potential prospects here. You can either play multiplayer and grind it out, work towards your multiplayer rank, or you can play Blackout and work towards that rank as well. But which one is better? Well, if you want to take a little bit of some testing and do a little bit of the math, multiplayer has roughly around 2 minutes of out-of-game time for every match. So when you take a look at that and break it down a little further, pre-game lobby with the after-action report and the lobby vote is about 50 seconds. The game countdown itself until you go into the loading screen is another 10 seconds, and then when you actually load in when that map loading screen goes, and then until when you actually jump into the match, that includes your selection of your specialist and your class, that's about 45 seconds as well. So roughly 2 minutes of what could be in-game time earning you progression towards that tier used elsewhere and is now unavailable because of that. So that's something you'd want to keep in mind with multiplayer, but how does it stack up against Blackout, your other main competitor here within what can actually work towards your progression? Well, Blackout, all you have to do is hit search, it finds you a match, you end up going into a little pregame lobby, and then you deploy. Now that's about 1 minute on the dot. From when you hit search to when you actually go in, that pregame lobby ends, and then you end up spawning into the helicopter right before you can jump out. It's about 1 minute. So instead of 2 minutes of wasted time, you also only have 1 minute, but also of in-game time, it doesn't even compare. Because when you take a look at it, at the longest, you'll probably have games that are around 10 to 12 minutes, and that's probably domination, hardpoints, and other game modes like that. And then you have game modes that are more populated, and maybe the general population plays a little more, like TDM and Kill Confirmed. Those are shorter, so you'll get that 2 minute time after every 6 to 7 minute match that you have to wait, and that doesn't add to your tiers. So while it doesn't seem like a whole lot, it does add up quick. To exemplify that, let's say that you're playing a 10-minute game in total. TDM, a game that is a little bit shorter normally, let's say everybody's playing passive, so it ends up lasting 8 minutes instead of that 6 to 7 like normal, just to make things easier and round it out. 8 minutes of match time, 2 minutes of loading screens into the next match. Every hour, you're missing out on about 12 minutes of in-game time, whereas in Blackout, you'll have 1 minute of loading screens for every 15 to 20 minute match, assuming that you last longer into the game, which makes that about 4 to 5 minutes lost on the hour instead of 12. Now, in the case of the double tier weekend, you'd miss out in the shortest modes of MP about 6 minutes every half hour, which is what it'll take to rank up tiers for this weekend, whereas in Blackout, you'll only be missing anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. So by that logic, Blackout is the clear choice, and also things that factor into it like mid-game, half times, or round switches. I'm pretty sure that doesn't count towards your in-game play time, so that's something that also will hinder your ability to end up earning, even ever so slightly, but still taking away from the earn rate. So if I were to give you my best advice here on ranking up, air quote, fast, because it is based on playtime, there is no real way to rank up faster than others based off of simply just what mode you play. So if I were to suggest, I'd say Blackout, but while I'm a fan of higher paced games, if you want the progress, I would definitely play this weekend for survival rather than domination. Play the outskirts of the zone, ride the zone, and if you see a Ruin and Soul Crush outfit with a face paint, probably running towards the action, or maybe in a vehicle or with a sniper, maybe don't shoot at him because, you know, that might be me. But jokes aside, survival is definitely the way to play this weekend. So whether or not you play passive or aggressive, that's really up to you, but your main objective is simply just to survive, because the longer you survive, that is the more raw in-game playtime that you can chain together, and therefore, as a result, you end up ranking up worlds faster. So that said, Blackout, without having as long to jump into game and also not having those in-game crutches like round switches or anything like that that takes away from the gameplay time, is definitely your best bet here with this one. But what happens if you don't end up making all the progress that you'd hope? What if you wanted to make so much more of a dent into your Contraband stream this weekend, especially because it is a rare event of a double tier weekend? What do you do if that's the case? Well, it's not the end of the world per se, and especially right now, because if I were to guess, one great time for what is already known is going to happen of challenges for your tiers, maybe that's introduced tomorrow as well with this double tier weekend, so that you end up having not only the ability to grind out via in-game playtime, but you can also earn tiers by completing certain challenges, and therefore that can help you attain more. But one additional thing that I definitely think will happen, that even if this weekend isn't enough and those challenges do come and you haven't made as much a dent still, I definitely think that towards the end of the air quote season, we're gonna see more earn accelerators either in another weekend like this, or what, though I'm not a huge fan of, I can't see not happening, discounted deals on buying tiers. Very similar to what Fortnite does to round out their seasons. We can end up buying 10 tiers at a time for a discounted rate. I definitely think that it'll be something of a similar path that Black Ops 4 takes with this Contraband stream at the end of its season, but as for if it's 10 tiers you can buy or what it might be, or half off tiers, I don't know, but I definitely think there will be some sort of discount that comes at the end, even if all of this isn't enough. But as for this weekend, it really doesn't matter about what happens in the future. Now is the time to take advantage of what we have in front of us, which is a big weekend for anybody really looking to grind out some of the Contraband stream. I'm certainly hoping to make a huge dent in mine. I'm very close to the Titan variant. I really want that, but I also want to get that GKS variant as well. So I'm hoping to push towards 105. That's about 50 ranks for me. So we'll see if that ends up happening or not, and we'll keep you updated on all that. And probably going to stream a lot of it as well, maybe if I can get the time. time. So if you guys want to follow my Twitch channel, that link will be down there in the description below. But that said, that's we're gonna wrap it up. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you guys think here? Are you guys excited for a double tier weekend? Do you guys agree with me that Blackout is by far the best thing to do here for us to rank up, since it is based off of raw gameplay? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helped you out in some way, shape, or form. And if it did, make sure you drop a like down below. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4, multiplayer, Blackout, zombies, you name it, we got you covered with the best of tips, tricks, news, information, updates, best class setups, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So anything that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And if you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But all that said, now out of the way, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.